What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. I think we have to take a little bit of a break talking about Call of Duty and instead shift focus to this Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection fiasco. Because the launch for this has been a complete and utter disaster. I mean, when you get IGN to even write an article saying the launch is a disaster, you know something went wrong. Because it's not just IGN talking about this, it's Games Radar, it's PC Gamer, with the quote of probably one of the worst launches of all time. The worst part is this is becoming more and more common. Games are being rushed out more and more often. Which is why I always commend what X Defiant is doing. Sure, it's losing some hype. Sure, it's losing some momentum. But it feels at least that they're trying to release something that does not become one of the worst launches of all time. Doesn't become dead on arrival because of incompetency. Because this is following suit of other games, like The Day Before, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Games that have released that are meant to be, quote-unquote, live service games that functionally don't work as intended, lack content, or just have a ton of bugs. And that's what we're experiencing here with Star Wars Battlefront, the Classic Collection. Because people were excited about this, and understandably so, I would too. This game was a classic from my childhood. Why wouldn't I be excited for it? When I saw it, I totally forgot that it existed, mind you. But when I saw it was releasing recently, I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm down. I want to see what it is. And it again disappointed me. Just like everything that has come from the Battlefront franchise in recent memory. It's been an utter disappointment in reality. And having servers that don't work, having a game that crashes, having so many bugs is mind-blowing, but also incompetent. And this is the direction it feels like the industry is going in. We are going to charge you more for less. We are going to nickel and dime you everywhere we can. And we're going to put less effort in and fire everybody that's a part of our quality assurance team. Because we don't care about creating an environment for you to have fun and enjoy yourself with and immerse yourself in. We want to create an environment where you just spend money. That's all we care about. And it's really starting to show, and it's really starting to become transparent when you have games that people want to play and can't access because, hey, we released a game that is multiplayer with 3 servers with 64 players each. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referencing to this tweet here from Sabaku on Twitter. He said, 10,000 people playing on launch night. Only has 3 servers that have 64 slots for a total of 200 players. Which means about 2% of your player base can actually access your game on launch night. Multiplayer doesn't work otherwise. The price tag is 35 USD or like 40 bucks Canadian. Jesus Christ, I am so disappointed with this robbery. Don't buy Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Man. And like, people wanted this, man. People were excited for this. And this is what we get. This is the situation we're placed in. How often does this seem to happen? We get our hopes up about a game, it releases, and it completely is broken on launch day. How often does that seem to happen? Because it certainly seems to happen more and more now than it ever did before. There was a time that it felt games released and they were functional, they were working, they had all the features that they were intended to have, and that's just not the case now. As more and more companies want to sell games as a service instead of games being a complete experience. And it's so frustrating. So you're asking for more money, and you're asking for microtransactions, and you're asking for this and asking for that, and giving us less because you want to make it a live experience. There will be a day where I release a video about how the Fortnite model broke the brains of the gaming industry as a collective, because it really has. It feels as if ever since Fortnite gained the traction that it did, everything else has been broken as people are trying to capitalize on that model of selling a service instead of a game. The difference is, guys, Fortnite has always been free. So the only thing they can sell is a service. And they are darn good at it because it's the only thing they can sell. But for these other games, you're selling a game and a service, and the game you are selling is not worthy of the service you're trying to peddle it with. It's not working. It's time to go back to the drawing board and figure this out. And it shouldn't be me, somebody who's not a part of the industry, telling you that. It should be people that should be invested in this industry and understand how it works, that tell you that the current way of launching games in broken states and charging money for it does not work. The worst part of the day before fiasco was the fact that people spent real money on that game. And then it went offline, 2 weeks after launch? Same thing's going to happen here. People are going to spend real money on this, thinking they are getting that little bit of a nostalgia hit that they need to keep going with their awful 9 to 5 in a world that is just inflated to all hell. And instead, they get a broken game that does not function nearly as good as what it did when it was originally out in the 2000s. Guys, we can't even functionally create games that were as good as what we were able to release 20 years ago. It's a joke. The industry has become a joke. But don't worry, they'll sell you a battle pass. Don't worry, they'll sell you cosmetics. Don't worry, spend more money here and here and here and here, and we're not going to do anything to make it better for the player. It's so frustrating right now being a member of the gaming community because it feels as if executives figured out that the gaming industry is large and it has a lot of revenue potential. And instead of trying to create better experiences and better games and pushing for innovation and creativity, we've instead traded all of that in to what is most monetizable, what is most available for the biggest return on investment. And it's so frustrating being a part of that because I feel as if games are now playing it safe the same way movies play it safe. It feels as if video games are now created in a boardroom instead of from passionate developers and fans that want to create an experience that they want to play. It's the same thing with movies. I don't feel as if movies are created for enjoyment anymore. They're created to make the most money possible instead of creating movies that you yourself would want to watch. And it's very disappointing seeing this in front of our very eyes. Very upsetting. This whole situation again highlights what is going awry with the entire industry, and it's really disappointing. And that's kind of where I want to leave this video. It started off as me ranting a little bit about the Battlefront Collection situation because they were once again not able to release a game in a state worthy of buying it, of playing it, of spending any effort in enjoying. And what it turned into was a rant about this industry that I feel is crumbling in front of our very eyes. But that's just my opinion, and that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. So let me know with a comment down below how you feel about this whole Battlefront situation, about the industry as a whole. Do you think the trajectory is upwards or downwards? Would love to hear your thoughts in that comment section below. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. Very close to 3,000 subs, so hopefully we hit it soon. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.